For real?
Yeah, yesterday. And some like lavender shorts on.
There it is. Or we have to wait for Facebook.
All right, and once it goes green.
Yeah, once it go green.
There it is. Where's it at? Can't see
It looks pretty good. Party up in
What's up, everybody? We're back. Like, hey, Crib. What's up, guys?
What's up, everybody? What it do?
Cheers.
You're on Island Block Radio, powered by Dash.
What's up, everybody? We're back at the ParBar. I'm your host, Mr. Rich D. Joining me, as always, Mr. Vince T.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Doctor himself, Dr. Twisted.
What's up?
Dominic Bloss is in the house.
It's me.
And you're on Island Block Radio, powered by Dash. And we're back, everybody.
Yep.
In 1080p.
Yeah, in 1080p.
Yes, in 1080p. Thanks, Dom.
So if you're checking us out on the Facebook Live, it's streaming, and it should be clearer.
Yeah. It's not that we look worse.
Clearer.
The camera's better.
More clearer.
More clearer.
But yeah, man, it's been another week in the books. We're that much closer to Christmas, and so you better be saving your money.
Dude, that's funny. You've been saying that because that's like the ongoing joke at work right now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, what y'all doing for Black Friday?
Oh, dude, it's coming up fast,
Dude,
man. So
halfway
yeah.
down.
Another week in the books. Let's see. Another busy week, but not as busy. T-ball's finally completed. Kind of just been cruising. School's finishing up. I helped my my son's school with their talent show. Ran the audio board.
Ooh.
I was Vince T for a day.
Yeah, never beat me for a day, son.
But it was cool.
Not unless he does all the feedback. Then if the feedback is going, then you got to go.
Then you're really me. Son.
But and it's kind of, I mean, it's cool, right? It's cool to watch them practice and stuff like that, and you see the nerves building up. You know what I mean?
The jitters?
The jitters,
Yeah.
man. I mean, some of them, like you could see it really bad on just the dry run, and they finally get to the day of the performance, and so the night where they did it for their parents, I wasn't able to make it. I was at my cousin's graduation, and but I texted the teacher. I gave him all the stuff what to do, how to do it. Everything was all preset. So he's like, man, it went great, perfect. All the kids nailed it. Audio was great. I was like, cool, that's great. So Friday comes along, and I end up trying to help out over there during my lunch break. I go down there.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it, and about number 5 or 6, the performer for 5 or 6 just breaks down, starts crying. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, man. She kind of like choked up, right?
Too many people?
And then I don't know what that did, but it like everybody after that was just snowballing into like this. Yeah. And so about like
the first 4 were like, hell yeah, we got a chance to win.
But yeah, so they kind of like they did it really well, and then after that it was kind of like you had to like really like pat them on the back and like, hey, you can do it, don't worry about it. Yeah. They're sitting there like crying.
Did you coach them? Were you coaching them?
No, man. I mean, I wanted to, but then I didn't because it wasn't my spot. They don't know me, from Adam. So I was like, you know what? I'll let the counselor try to do it. And I could see the counselor, like, he starts sweating. Like, he's like
he's nervous.
Yeah, he's like panicking. He's like, damn, man, like, what's going on here? So, overall, it went well. But it was cool to experience that whole thing. Let's see here. But, yeah, that was my weekend. Then everything else was kind of like standard. What you guys?
Just, normal work week. I've been off the last couple of days. Friday, I went and checked Dom out down at Guahan Grill.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Nico and Kana Day.
Awesome.
And then last night, we just had a little get-together with the family. And then today, got my goddaughter, Anna-Marie.
Oh, I did see that, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that was a good time. It was the last 3 nights are pretty good time. So, then I'm dealing with the freaking thing at home right now. My son's got a 6-month or 8-month-old Cane Corso, and my oldest daughter had her at the beach today, the Dog Beach at Fiesta Island, and something spooked the dog, and she took off running, and they haven't been able to find her. So they've got a bunch of stuff out, posted on social media and some other like dog finder groups and stuff right now, trying to locate.
I hope
this
somebody finds it, man. Like,
I
it's,
hope
it's
so
an
too.
island, so
Yeah, and the scary part about it's on the SeaWorld, or across from SeaWorld. It is on an island, but then you have SeaWorld Drive not too far from there.
Yeah.
You have the 5 freeway right there, Mission Bay
Oh,
Park.
damn.
So, hopefully there's somebody out there that has enough integrity where they look at the tag and see the phone number
Okay.
and the name and everything, and they give a call. So, yeah, man. So good luck to man. I know my son's broke up. I talked to him today. He's pretty broken up about it because he had that puppy since she was 4 weeks old. He
And how old
actually
is she now?
hand fed her. She's I want to say 6 months old.
Okay.
But yeah, he hand fed her. She wasn't weaned when he got her.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so
Damn.
she
Builds
looks
that
at him as this.
relationship, yeah.
That's her dad, her mom, everything. So that's his little baby girl. So.
Oh,
Damn.
hope they find
Well,
her.
good luck. Good
Yeah.
luck at that.
Yeah.
VT
Yo,
sound like a disease. VT. My bad.
Y'all got that VT?
What's the matter? I have to go get
Y'all-
a shot. Why?
y'all are
I
VT positive or what?
got
That's my new slogan. Are you VT positive?
That's a shirt. That's the next shirt.
I got that VT drip.
That's a different kind of drip.
That's
Man.
Did y'all get tested for VT?
Yeah, son. Positive. You don't want that.
oh no, I have VT.
Oh, what do you, hey,
We all got VT today.
hey, you start losing your hair?
Oh shit.
See, I can make fun of myself.
good.
Nah, man, I just been concentrating on my whole car situation, which I got that figured out. Luckily, during the week, man, I just been like really just doing a lot of audio mixing. Actually, I've been going back to old stuff that I recorded maybe like 5-6 years ago,
Okay.
just to see where I was at and then where I'm at now, to see progression and see and go back and fix it.
Yeah.
And just so I can have it for my own record, because I like doing that
Mhm.
for things that I recorded. I just like to hear what I recorded way back then with better quality,
Right.
more proper technique on mixes, things like that. So
Would it suck like if you remix something and it sounded worse?
But you know what's cool about that though? Like we always say, man, if I could go back in time with what I know now, things would be different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
With-
guess I
with-
can do that.
Yeah, with what he's doing, yeah, you can do that, right?
Yeah, but that would suck, Dom. I'm
It
like,
would.
if that happened, Dom, I'd give up. This
You
ain't
be like, shit.
this ain't.
I ain't
learned.
learned. I ain't learned shit in 5 years. Apparently.
Be someone
Apparent-
offer up, got all this gear, take it.
Apparently, I've been getting dumber all this time.
That's what VT does for you.
Oh man.
That's tight though. I mean, I think with the conversation we had earlier in the chat a little bit about producers and working with people, I kind of rethought about with the
Jacopo situation.
no,
Oh.
kind of like the working with people, right? Like
Oh yeah.
if they're dicks, if they're
Wow.
But I mean, I think at some point you would have to learn or realize that you're kind of the problem, right?
Yeah,
it's
because you're
continue-
working with somebody that knows more than you, right?
I mean, well, coming from that perspective, like you've worked with this artist, you work with this artist, all of a sudden you're realizing that no one's coming back to work with you anymore.
Mm.
Oh, got you.
Sooner or
It's the
sooner or
same
later, you
problem.
gotta
Like,
realize you're the
Yeah, you're
problem.
like,
Yeah.
man, no one wants to work with me anymore. Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't
man.
keep-
It's like
you can't
what's that saying? If everybody's or if you can't spot the asshole in the room, you're the asshole.
Yeah, you're that. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. Anyway,
keep- That makes sense though.
not me. I ain't the ass. Well, I'm an asshole.
But we spot you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I spot myself.
Everybody already knows.
Yeah,
He called it.
yeah.
It's me. Before you're all trying to guess.
I'm
like
here, the asshole. I'm in the room.
There's like a disclaimer, when you walk up and shit, like, just FYI, man, I'm
My
an
name's
asshole.
Rich, and I'm an asshole. How you doing? And this is my friend. He's got the VT.
Rich just got out of AA.
Yeah.
Assholes Anonymous.
all day. Yeah, but you recognize it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Daughter, She finished preschool and they had a little graduation.
Yeah,
Congrats
man.
on that.
So congrats to my baby girl, May May.
Cry? Nice.
Did I cry?
Come on.
Nah, I didn't cry.
It's cool,
but
man.
like,
Did you cry when you got home?
no. Well, you know what? I was really happy. Like
So there were tears of joy.
no, there were no tears. But like,
Oh.
if I were to be crying, it would be because I was happy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So congrats to all the grads, any
Oh.
grade, any diploma, whatever.
Yeah.
You guys, it's like it's weird seeing it from like a parent's. It's not weird. It's different seeing as a parent's from a parent's perspective, seeing like your kids' accomplishments. I mean, for them, it's like it's just something like super little, and then,
Yeah,
like,
it's another day.
yeah,
You know, it's just like some of those things what that they're kind of going through.
yeah,
But you as a parent, you're seeing now like what your parents were seeing as you were doing those things.
Yeah.
And I think it's completely different.
Yeah.
It's a different perspective.
You know what, man? Like with the other kids, I never. When they started like kindergarten, I never got teared up. I did when my oldest daughter graduated high school.
Mm.
I went up to give her her lei and give her a hug, and I was like, "Whoa, where'd this come from?" I had to walk away real quick.
mm.
With my youngest, now when she graduated from preschool, I didn't do that, but I know for sure when she starts kindergarten,
Mm.
a couple months, I tell you right now, boy, 'cause that's the last one.
Yeah,
I was just gonna ask you that.
Yeah, she's the last one, and I know I'm gonna be like calling in sick for work.
yeah.
I'm gonna be balled up in the corner of the garage with a bottle, crying.
I think I talked about this. I think I talked about this last time or previous in a previous episode, but I'll be really sad the day that my daughter doesn't want to give me a kiss bye anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like-
I've had that conversation.
Because I remember that day when, because I kissed my dad on the cheek when he would drop me off to school, and then one day I just stopped, and like now I can like visualize it from his perspective, and like,
You hear
man,
it- you hear it.
kids are assholes.
You hear that Sarah McLachlan playing in his fucking in his head?
No,
as
the
you're walking to
Titanic
class?
song.
Damn.
Okay, and then so
Put two and two together. That's the day I met Rich. What an asshole.
Friday, like you said, we play.
you kiss your daddy?
What a punk.
Friday, I played with Nico and Kana over there at Guahan Grill and IB. It was a slow day. I think there's still graduations and stuff going on.
There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then yesterday we just chilled. Oh, we saw Aladdin yesterday.
Oh,
So that was it was pretty. It's a pretty like 1-to-1 like recreation of the original, minus like Robin Williams.
Right. How's Will
Um,
Smith? He's good.
He's
I mean,
Will
he's
Smith,
Will
dude.
Smith, man. I mean,
Will Smith is Will Smith in all his movies, bro. I'll just say that.
Yeah, like Jason Momoa plays Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is
Play-
Jada Pinkett's fine.
Starring Jason Momoa as Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was Aladdin starring Will Smith as Will Smith for sure.
Oh, okay.
But it was a fun movie. Like they added a couple songs in there.
Worth seeing.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Like I said, it's basically 1-for-1 with the addition of maybe like 1 or 2 songs.
was it a hip hop song? like a
They
hip-hop
changed they
feel?
changed all the genie parts to
Oh, yeah.
more Will Smith style stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then
Was it like Will Smith rapping a Aladdin song to the was it Beverly Hills song?
it's like he's not a great singer, bro. He's not a
Aw.
great singer.
No,
Like and you know that, but like they have to make him sing because
it's Aladdin.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say Robin Williams was a better singer than Will Smith.
Yeah.
Robin Williams was a fun genie, bro.
I mean,
Well,
Robert
the guy
Williams-
was just
yeah.
crazy.
fun
in
Crazy
general,
funny,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that guy stand up?
Oh,
I mean, you had to pay attention because the guy was so quick.
Yeah.
So quick.
he
and
would
you-
get away with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and if you turn your head for a second, and all of a sudden there was like 3 punchlines, and you're like, "What the hell just happened?"
yeah.
So
Yeah. Auntie Pam on the Facebook Live, she said they had kimchi bowl lays here on Guam.
Oh no, that's some shit.
Like kimchi bowl noodle.
What the hell?
Oh Lord.
Like, well, I'm thinking like a jar of kimchi around your neck.
No,
like,
no,
I
no.
think they're talking about the soup bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Imagine
A jar of kimchi.
Yeah.
Like 6 of
it
them.
would just be
Yeah.
like one pendant of kimchi.
like a big ass gold chain, but of kimchi.
hey, what do you guys think about that? Like, you hear about these schools where
banning lays.
banning lays, and there was one. I think it was a Samoan kid or Tongan kid.
Oh yeah, they
Tongan.
made him not wear
From
take
Utah?
off his
I
thing.
think it was
Yeah, they made him take off his lava
Stupendo?
lava. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he was wearing it under his gown, but
Yeah.
they made him take it out and wear slacks. And
Yeah, that was.
Why if it's under your gown?
You know,
Not showing.
I think because they've had a couple people who just like rip off their gown as they
gotcha.
walk through, and so I think if it's standardized, I understand. Okay, if it's standardized, cool. I mean, if you're gonna do that all the way across the board, but then if that's his culture, which it is, then you have to understand like you have to standardize that with all your other students, regardless of what they're wearing.
So it could be like a yarmulke.
The
So like
yarmulkes,
everybody should wear slacks, including girls.
right? Like if you're gonna do that, like
Oh,
I mean,
I
like
get what you're saying.
I don't know what they call it on the woman's head, the hijab.
Oh, okay.
So you have to standardize that too. You know what I mean?
Like,
Like if
you
you're gonna
can't-
take off his tupenu, even though that's his culture, when they do their celebration, then you need to take that off of everybody else too.
Yeah,
Of
with the
their
hijab, they're
cultural-
saying this
True.
is
cultural garb.
religion, not so much culture.
Yeah.
So that would be
Yeah,
the
you
argument
can't just
for
make
that,
exceptions.
But I mean, I
It's-
get it. Yeah, and that's
Well,
true.
tupenu is actually used for church ceremonies.
Right.
So what is that? A jacket?
That's
It's
the
like
fala.
like a
Yeah, the
the
tapa?
fala.
yeah,
Okay.
the fala. That's around their waist.
Waist?
Yeah,
Got it.
you've seen it before.
I've seen it.
So
I
Yeah.
didn't
they're
know
like
what
a
it's
slack
Like
material.
the
not a
lahala
wrap.
weight, lahala. It's like a lahala mat that you wrap around your waist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's different from
Then the lava lavas.
right.
Okay.
Your lava is good, or your tupenu is just when you're cleaning the house or whatever.
And then just to wrap it up, played over there at Harris Casino today with
Nice.
Nico and Jahua and Alex Lugua.
Nice.
That was fun. It's always fun playing at Harris.
Yeah,
And I
miss
came
that.
straight here.
I miss that place.
I'd actually never been there.
You should
Yeah.
go, man. I mean,
How far is it? I heard it's pretty out there.
it takes like an hour to get there from here.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
About an hour 30.
They've been changing up the rules a lot. Like lately, like previous years, they let everybody in the pool area, so the pool area was crowded, and then they cracked down on it, and they said only hotel guests are allowed to go in.
And no one was there.
But now anybody can go in, but you got to pay a cover.
yeah,
That makes sense.
So
if you're not a hotel guest.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and then they had 21 and up in the pool area where we are. But if you go to the lazy river in the back, you can bring your kids.
Cool.
So, but yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Nice.
There was something I was going to bring up, but I can't remember what it was. So anyway, once again, you're on Island Block Radio, powered by Dash. And this segment is brought to you by
The Guahan Grill with 3 locations here in San Diego, one in Oceanside, California, one in Point Loma, and the newest restaurant to the trio is the one in Imperial Beach. So come check them out, get some good grub.
Nice. So, topic number 1.
Yep.
We're hitting morality, ethics, and law.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Vince T brought this up before we jumped on the show, and morals, basically your ethics and your law of the land, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause-
And the only reason I bring this up is because I saw a story earlier this week. I'm not sure what day, but it was a man that he was in the courtroom for representing his mother because she got murdered, and he's doing her case.
okay,
And the suspect, right? He entered the room, and the son automatically just hopped over everything and was about to.
he gets emotional.
Yeah, and you can't really hold that back. I mean, his mom is murdered, right? If that's the
Right.
person that murdered your mom, you're gonna have a vengeance, I would assume.
Right.
Now, I don't know if he was charged. I think he was charged with contempt, which I get it, but how do you justify that though? Like, how do you not understand that? Like,
I think
how do you separate the law from like? There's a fine line, right?
Like if you were the judge, be like, well, he did kill his mama.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not? Do you not?
Well, that's the law standards, right? Like, you can't do that. Like, you need to let this dude be tried, in front of the court. You can't. We're holding you. We're allowing you to come in here because this is the process that we utilize in our nation, right? And in America, we do it by due process.
Right.
So you know the rules and going in. Now, I like emotionally, I would think that the judge does not blame that person, but the standard that
But-
she's held to or he is held to, meaning the judge, they have to do that. I mean,
Right.
there is no.
So there's
Ifs,
just
ands,
separate
or
the
buts.
person from the book.
Yeah, you can't. I mean,
You do for one, you got to do for all. And
Right.
if they were to not prosecute or not do anything for that, it would be a free for all in courtrooms across the country.
Okay. So let me give you this situation. Let's say let's say there's a brawl, right? At some point. It's you, your kid, and some dude is trying to attack you and your kid, right? You happen to have a gun, licensed, everything like that.
mhm.
You take care of it in self-defense, right? Because you are getting attacked. Now, I've seen multiple cases where the person with the gun get charged with more than what the attacker would get.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I've,
like, to me, I don't know if
it's like
if
it's
I
like
just follow my
I
morals
think it's all
more.
articulation too. How you articulate what, how did you feel threatened? What was it the person did that made you feel threatened for your safety and the safety of your son?
But it's all subjective.
It depends. I don't know if it's subjective. It's did you feel threatened? What did he do to threaten you
Yeah,
at
there-
that point?
Plus, there's case law out there that'll support a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, which means, they use old cases to justify certain actions. I mean, there's been a case where a dude slips on a roof. He was trying to break into someone's house, slipped on the roof, and then he charged the motherfuckers.
Having a slippery ass
Yeah,
roof.
and then he won.
Yeah.
That's
see,
nuts.
some dumb stuff.
Yeah, see, that's
That's
stupid.
really dumb.
But that's like
See,
that's
but
really dumb. That's a really good lawyer.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but I mean, come on. Like, his intention was to break in the house.
Right.
Right.
The fact that he slipped, he's dumb. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but he won. What did he win? How do you win?
He sued him.
He sued him. I don't know.
Civil.
I don't know exactly what it was that he charged or sued them for. I don't know if it was like. But anyway, he won. He won the case.
They covered
That's
it.
that's dude. That's my.
Dude, there've been cases like that. Same thing. Or somebody breaking into a house.
And getting shot.
They go. Well, not even that. They turn around and run out because the homeowners catch them.
That's
They
what
turn
I'm
and
saying.
run out. They trip going out the front door and fall down the front steps, break a leg or something, and they're still on that property. And they turn around and they'll sue the homeowner.
Yeah.
And they won.
I don't get that.
See, I don't see. That's what I don't get either.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, that's like those,
That's
that's
a
a crazy.
sense, man.
So I don't have to be a thief.
Crazy
I could be willing to
loopholes.
break a leg and
Yeah.
get paid. I don't even have to be a thief.
You sit there slapping yourself. Okay, come on, baby. Come on, baby. We're breaking this damn leg on here.
I'm about to get paid.
About to get paid.
I don't know. That's just me. I was like, man, what?
Gotta
kinda-
get paid. My baby got VT.
But okay, so morality. Now, morally,
Yes.
like when you're talking about morals, like vigilantes. That's why, like, you have these comic book characters that exist in this fantasy world, because a lot of people out there in the world kind of want to be like Batman. They want to have like that justice for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they want to go out there and serve justice the way they feel like it should be served. Now, I know this is kind of crazy, but the problem with Batman is that he's a fucking psycho. Right?
People don't realize that.
Yeah. People don't understand. Like he's a little demented.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're
So-
prepared for everything, you have to be kind of crazy.
Right? Like, I mean, he has mommy daddy issues, one, and then he has this thing where he just goes out and he starts beating the shit out of people.
Dressed as a bat.
doesn't like clowns.
Yeah. It's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you because you're next.
Yeah.
Like, you know
But
what I
he
mean?
doesn't kill.
Yeah. And doesn't use guns. Right? So
And he doesn't even really have any true superhero powers.
and
either.
he honestly doesn't really
His
exist. So
superpower is prep time.
yeah.
That's Batman's superpower. Prep
Prep
time.
Okay, so we have some comments.
All
It
right.
says some state laws have different laws, which is correct. Also, half a day from Andrew Limtiaco in Denver, Colorado.
Nice.
Oh, big
Hey.
shout out to Pam Pam. She got me this Fokai tank.
Oh, that's
Guam
what.
sent it back.
That's why she's been on so long.
Yeah, I think
I
my
waited,
package got
Dominic.
stolen off my porch. Aunt Pam.
I call this my Party Mark uniform today.
Hey.
So, morally, I think at least okay for me. Let's round table this. For me, morally, I believe in honestly, I believe an eye for an eye. So if you're willing to do the crime, I believe you're willing to sacrifice
Receive
whatever's
the
coming back to you.
consequence, Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's if you get shot for breaking someone's house, hey man, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Now, if you're hurting and you're struggling and you're really trying to figure out how to get some food on some table for your family, I believe there's ways to do that. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to rob somebody and steal from somebody. I think you can utilize some of these programs. You just got to reach out and you got to do the extra work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
And that's the thing. People don't want to put in work. They're always trying to find the easy way out.
yeah. Dom, what do you think? Morals, state law, or
I agree 100% with you.
okay.
That's the way I see it. Like if you're willing to do the crime, you better be willing to pay the time, or
Or
lose a
that's-
limb,
That's your ass.
or lose a life. Damn. Lose your life.
Vince T, obviously you're a moral
yeah.
kind of guy.
I'm a moral guy. And if we had to put it up next to each other, I go morally as long as it can be proven to a certain extent. Like it's blatant right there.
Yeah.
Like you said, some dude trying to break in the house and he broke his foot.
Can you imagine being that dude though? You fall off someone's roof.
Like,
the dude comes out like, "What the fuck?
I would just laugh and be like,
What happened?"
I'm suing.
He's like, "Man, you didn't get a new roof, nigga."
How am I supposed to break in? How am I supposed to break in with these shingles?
Fuck my damn hip.
If
Call
somebody
911.
if a burglar tried to tell me he's suing me for breaking into my house and then falling off the roof, I'd make damn well sure that he can't talk or he can't write or anything.
So you drag him back in the house.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, dude, that's hilarious. I couldn't imagine that. You come out, dude's fucking hips all broken. What happened to you?
Be like,
I
babe,
slept on your damn roof.
babe, turn off the security cameras.
Delete it.
Lose
Oh,
the footage.
man.
Lose the footage.
Sorry, in my mind, I keep thinking about that dude that tried to commit suicide on the freeway a long time ago, and he only broke his ankle.
Oh, right there on the 5
Oh,
and 8.
yeah.
When he jumped for like 20 feet.
He
broke an
jumped
ankle.
off and broke his ankle.
That must have hurt though.
I bet he wish he hadn't have done
I
that.
mean,
Hey,
for what he was going for.
Can you imagine being the officer or the ambulance guy, like picking him up? He's like, "Damn, I broke my ankle." He goes, "Obviously, man, it's only 25 feet."
Hey, better than being dead.
He's like sitting there trying to figure out who does he sue? Does he sue the city or does he sue the state?
He goes to the ambulance driver.
This is okay. Let's not make fun of suicide.
But he didn't commit. He broke his ankle.
yeah, he didn't die. He just broke an ankle, dumbass.
We're not
All
making
right.
fun of suicide. We're
Yeah.
making fun of stupid people.
Stupid
All
people
right.
break ankles.
Twisted, where you at?
I'm one. I guess in some ways I'm kind of naive, where I put the faith in the justice system.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I've seen some people wronged by it, or even wrongly accused. So then I also fall on the moral thing. Same thing, man. If you do the crime, do the time, and to me, depending on what that crime is,
Right.
like I said it before, if I catch somebody touching one of my kids
Mm.
in a way they shouldn't be touching them,
They're dying.
Yeah.
that's it. That's just
That's justified.
yeah. And I to this day I'll take that one to the grave with me. That's me. If I were to walk around a corner and see somebody touching one of your kids, yeah,
Same thing.
Yeah.
And not to take away from like the justice system that it doesn't work.
right.
I believe it works into a certain degree. I think there's also a failure within the justice system. You know what I mean? Like I don't believe they charge the right time for the right crimes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You have people who stab somebody and they get off with
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then you have somebody who in the 90s was selling drugs and all of a sudden they're there for 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's weird. So there I don't think anybody here, I don't think we're saying like the justice system is correct or that morality should define how we serve justice. It's just I think there's a balance there. And
Yeah, it's definitely not balanced.
yeah, and I don't think it's balanced. How you balance it, I don't know, but
No,
I think it has to be. Someone has to figure out a better way of.
The part that I when you hear about these kids, these college kids or high school kids that commit some kind of heinous crime, and they're from a pretty affluent family, pretty well-to-do family.
Like that dude that like raped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and the family's got bucks, and
Yeah.
they end up getting off with some crazy,
which is crazy.
2 years.
Money
probation.
should never determine your or have a bend in the justice system.
Yeah,
I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? Like
But the thing is, it kind of does. Like it depends on it determines what kind of lawyer you can afford.
Well,
and how good
so
they
also
are.
like Jussie Smollett, right? Smollett, how do you say his name?
Smollett.
The actor who recently got off, right? Randomly, like, dude, how do you get away with nothing?
Yeah.
Like
One
you
who faked
just
his own hate crime.
you just sentenced like you sent the whole police department after this dude that didn't really exist. And what happened if they actually found somebody was like, okay, you know what, you match the description of what you said, this guy said, and these two would have been to jail.
And now we're charging them.
Yeah, and you would have lived, dude. You would have walked off the way I see it is that dude would have walked off just like, oh well, too bad for those two.
Yeah, my story's true.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, that's crazy.
So at that point,
And then
there's
he gets nothing.
There's no morals.
There's no
or
moral
ethics.
in that. He doesn't have any moral.
More morals. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Anyway, yeah, that's. I mean, I think it's a big deal here in the States for sure.
I just wanna add, we're gonna be thinking about my cousin Hanofri Chargaloff coming up in a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting retried. Is it retried or resentencing?
Yeah.
So hopefully they,
They fix that. You know what I mean? Like that's because that's something I guess a little bit hits a little bit closer to home.
Yeah.
And so at that point, you know what I mean? Like obviously we have a little bit more feeling towards it. But I also, even if I try to cut that whole feeling off, I don't believe he got sentenced right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a crazy amount of
still
like
time you can't get back.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it was crazy that he got charged with that much time in the first place.
Yeah, and you look at that, okay, we're gonna be tough on drugs, and
You just had a dude
But-
who just fucking bombed like a suicide or fucking terrorist who just got off after 8 years. What
That's
the fuck?
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
well, that's what I'm
crazy.
saying. So you look at that time when they were playing tough on drugs and this stuff happened, but where were the morals and the decision making of sentencing back then?
Yeah.
It was just, we're going to be tough on drugs. That's it. We're going to lock these guys and we're burying them under the jail and under the prison. And there was no other thought put into it.
And not treating them like humans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that reform happened, though.
Yeah. Shouts out to the people that actually do something with themselves while they're in also.
Better themselves.
Better
Yeah.
themselves.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, let's jump to the next one. Once again, you're on Island Block Radio, powered by Dash. And this next segment is brought to you by
The Island Block Concert Series, starting on July 19th. We have artist Leota. Have you guys ever heard of him?
No.
No? Well, I guess we'll have to do some research. I haven't heard him either.
Yeah.
But he will be out there at House of Blues in Anaheim, along with hip hop artist G Funk Supreme, which I have heard him on the morning ride, and he's dope.
Oh, okay.
He is very what I feel is like 90s G Funk. He's solid. So hopefully I can get out there for that. But if you guys can't catch that, please hit up the Fiji concert July 14th. Right before that at House of Blues in Anaheim. That one should be sold out, no problem. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But if you guys need tickets for any of those, please hit up Joe
July
Sam.
14th?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll go to that one. We supposed to go to that one?
Sure.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to be up in that area, that's why.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, then cool, man. If you can make it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway.
Yep.
Sorry, my bad. All right, next topic. Oh, big shout out to Kendu out there.
Kendu.
Next topic, we got technology, social media, and balance. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this up, so I heard on, I was watching a couple of other, my favorite podcasts, some other shows, and they were talking about like social media and the effects it's having on the youth. Obviously, I think we all can kind of see that. Everybody wants the instant gratification of it. I think we talked about this with Dom Alvarez, formerly of
Modesty is for
Modesties for Ugly People. Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing it back up, you guys weren't here for that, but so Joe Rogan. This is all off the Joe Rogan show.
Love his show.
Yeah, me too. So they're talking about like he's not giving his kids social media and a phone to about 8th grade, right?
That's about right.
Okay. But when I was at school with Napu for that talent show, I saw a bunch of kids with phones.
Ooh.
Bunch of kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, man, that's why, my son's asking me for a phone. He wants a phone because all the other kids have phones.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I mean, he's in 1st grade, right? He's 6 years old, about to be 7. And there are a couple kids in his class have phones. I'm sitting there like, why do you have phones for? And why is that even allowed here at school? Right? I get for emergency reasons.
That's the only reason I would.
Well, that good flip phone will work for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shouldn't you alert the teacher at that point?
I don't know.
If
I
it's an
mean,
emergency, like,
I
you're
would
not
assume
just-
that they know. I mean, it's
walk
been
on a walk from home from school or to school, something for those emergencies. But you don't need. I don't think kids that young need a smartphone with access to internet and social media and all that stuff.
No.
right.
I said a simple flip phone
Yeah.
to call mom and dad when they're in trouble.
Right.
That's
I think
fine.
there's even like minimum ages to be joining these certain social media platforms. Also,
Yeah,
Is there?
I think there might be.
But I mean, how's that hard?
Can you?
Hard
That's
is
what I'm
that?
saying.
Though, I mean,
If you're as a responsible parent, you should be reading these terms of service, and you shouldn't want your kid on social media at that age.
Hell no.
So, conversation.
Yep.
When do you think it might be right to give your kid a phone, have social media? I've had cousins who didn't have social media until they actually graduated. Like, whole time through high school. Weren't allowed. And this is just recent, like within the last 2 years.
I think it's tough to do that, but I think it's commendable by the parents
Yeah.
for sure.
What about you, though? Would you do the same?
I would
yeah, that's tough.
I would want to.
But you sound like it sounds like a butt's coming.
Kids. There's no reason to be on to have social media until you're an adult, because, I don't know.
There's too much shit out there on social media. you
Yeah.
know, that could get in on their pages and stuff. I wouldn't allow it for my little one.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't allow it until I knew she was at an age and a mental state where she was mature enough and responsible enough to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
To just go ahead and hand a smartphone to a kid and give them carte blanche to do whatever they want with it. No, that's not acting responsibly as an adult. I don't think. As a
Right.
parent, that's not a responsible way to do
So,
it.
yeah, that was another conversation they had was, the psychological things, right? Once again, back at the front of the brain, right? That fulcrum of your brain is not fully developed here. You're like at least 23, 25, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's the amount of damage you might be doing? And then, which was a great thing. It was a woman guest on the phone on the Joe Rogan show. And she was talking about that men, so when they go to or have a debate or they're arguing, the way they handle is always going to be
Fact.
physical, right? It's physical. So if I have a problem with you,
Yeah.
we're going to fix this out physically,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then once we're done, we're done. Where women
Right.
are psychological war. And so with social media that they war through that. Now, whoever wins that war obviously feels better, but the one who loses the war, basically social media life is starting to die.
Yeah.
And then they become into the state of depression.
Yeah.
Because
Because they're no longer allowed to go in that area until, it all clears up. But
They got to change their circle of friends and everything else.
So does it come down to how much you value it?
How much value you put on it, I think.
obviously, I think that's I think with anything we do in life, right? So how
Right.
much value we put into the ParBar, how much value we put into the conversation we have with our families. But I only bring this up because I feel like there has to be a balance at some point. Maybe they can do social media, right? Maybe they can do it at 13. Maybe they could do it at 15.
Here's Auntie Pam right here. Says they went to King's the other day. There's a family sitting around. No conversations, just noses in their phones.
Yeah.
And that's a common thing you see nowadays.
Oh yeah, all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, you see the whole family sitting there. Everybody's on the
Yeah.
phone. Nobody's talking.
Yeah. I make it a point to put my phone on the table face down.
Face down.
Mhm.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, there are two reasons to have social media. One, to be in contact with people that you normally wouldn't be in contact with or that you're trying to reach out to.
Mhm.
And two is to market yourself a certain way. And I think the only reason to be able to have the reason to market yourself is if you're actually doing a service or you have a business that you're trying
Kind
to
of product
promote.
that you're trying to promote.
Mhm.
And that's the only, like,
Well,
I don't
that's funny. I forgot about that part. That social media now is your business. So
Yeah.
that's and I think you said that.
We talked about that last week.
Yes, that's right. She brought up the same thing. Kendu, on the live feed, social media is causing kids to be antisocial with the local neighborhood, even in some cases with their own family. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
And it's weird because we're on social media right now. We're literally on Facebook Live, and then we're also on the obviously on Dash and Island Block Radio.
Yep.
But
We're grown ass adults.
but we're not using this to sit there and be on all day.
No.
You know,
we're not on.
we're having the conversations that
right.
we want to have, and we're using this platform to put a conversation out there, so you know that you're not the only person having those conversations, and you know what I mean. Like if you think that you are, well, this is why we're here.
And this is once a week that we do this.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're here every day hopping on Facebook, Instagram, blah blah blah.
Minute
whatever
after
it may be.
minute, hour
Right.
after hour.
And this is the same conversation we have off air too. We sit here as a family and we sit there and we talk. Once again, I believe it's balance, man. I don't know how you balance that out. Right now, the boys are allowed to use our phones every once in a while, but even then, it's about an hour maybe that day.
And see, in that right there, you see a lot of parents out there that do that. They hand them the phone, they hand them a tablet, and that's the electronic babysitter.
Mm.
Here you go. Go over there and watch whatever you're watching.
Yeah.
Leave mom alone, leave dad alone for a while. And then the kid turns around and sees mom and dad sitting there with their faces in a
Right.
phone, and that's what the kid grows up seeing.
Yeah.
So
And I'm not saying like we're not guilty of that shit. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, no.
we do that every
We
once in a
all
while, but
are.
It's- we
our boys
regulate it.
are constantly out. They are constantly in
Yes,
out.
they are.
They're either at the Guam Club or they're at baseball or they're at dance or we're at the park or we're at some party. And whenever we're out, they're never allowed to use electronics.
And see, it goes back to what we're saying, how much value you put into something.
Right.
So you teach them that there's more value in being active and doing other things.
Right.
They'll put very little value in the social media aspect
Yeah.
of life. Granted, when they're around their friends at school, everybody's on it, they may feel like they're missing out.
Mm-hmm.
They may feel like they're not. Well, what am I really missing out on? So-and-so say, yeah, I know, I heard that the other day. I didn't have to read about it on social media. Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Like Don said, the first time I got on social media was honestly because we were having a class reunion. And I got on there to get in touch with everybody and get the info for the class reunion. And it just stuck. But even then, I'm not on it a whole lot at all either.
Right.
I think the only reason I got into social media was because I was trying to promote tribal theory back in the day, and that was like MySpace and stuff.
Yeah, MySpace.
And I was basically our social media manager back then, volunteering myself to do that.
Let me
I
ask
still
you
do
guys
that to
this.
today with my own projects. So sorry.
Let me ask you guys this, since you guys have like kids and and families. So what happens if it turns into a point where you're doing social media together as a family?
I don't know what that really means.
So like,
That's
let's
It's
weird.
like
say-
putting
let's-
your life on like a vlog or something.
Ye-
Like
There's certain things that outside of your family people don't need to know and see.
Well, I mean, I agree with that, but it doesn't happen that way right now. We all can see that.
I think like spiritual talking as far, or maybe like
So what happens
support system within the family. Like you're talking about, your family and what you guys kind of go through as a day-to-day basis.
No,
I've seen a couple of those.
I'm saying like, what if, the parents and the kids are like on Instagram all the time together? That's
Nah.
their family time.
Nah, that's stupid.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not quality family time.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's not.
To
No.
who?
It's not quality family time because they're still not socializing with each other.
Yeah.
They're socializing with.
Unless you're sitting there like poking fun at somebody on social media.
well, I
Like,
mean,
if you're going through Instagram,
Okay,
like, look
if-
at this dumb bitch.
if they're basically
The way
provide
we do it
their-
on Messenger.
they're you're not gonna see somebody's life 24/7
Of
like
course
that.
not.
But there are some families out there that do social media together that market things. Like there's a kid out there on YouTube
Ryan.
that I'm not gonna say names because he's already making a lot more money than any of us.
Bastard.
But he and his family, they have their own toy line. They have their own YouTube channel, and they're making millions of dollars.
Okay,
You know?
maybe I'm not hitting the point that I'm trying to hit. let's say you and your family go to the park. Rich, you guys, go to the Guam Club, whatever, dance practice, and let's say the boys get older, right? And then they start snapping pictures of, you, your wife, the kids, like everybody together.
That's just like taking pictures.
I was
though.
just taking pictures.
That's like
So
that's
you-
like a photo album, like an online photo album.
So does that, at this point, does it not create like documentary and memories?
Yeah,
It
it
does.
archives
Yeah.
our memories. Yeah, and that's what I use it for.
But like, there's other aspects of social media that if you're letting your kid loose on it, they're gonna get exposed to that. Which is something that you need to try to limit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
all the political crap, all that mainly political crap, and I don't know. It's just
A lot of stuff they shouldn't know about
yeah.
at this point.
Yeah,
All
I
I'm
mean-
saying is, I think that it's gonna come to a point where social media time is gonna become family time for a lot of families.
So I would hope
like
not.
you look at
I
it.
would disagree with that.
You look at it back in the day, they didn't have radio, they didn't have TV. When radio came about, the family would gather around the radio and listen to shows, right? And then when the TV came out, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody's doing stuff until the show was coming on TV. The family would gather around the TV and watch the show. So it's nothing really different than what it was in the past with things. It's
It's just more interactive now.
more interactive now. So I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you see a whole family and they're sitting down and they're all on Facebook together and going, oh, check this out. Did you see this? You know, hey, did you see that? Oh, no, here, check this out. Did you see this? And they're passing each other's phones around and discussing what each one of them.
As long as they're interacting with each other.
Yeah, then something like
Yeah.
that, I could see that coming to be something of a family time. But I mean, to me, it's I don't, and that's just my opinion. It's not
Mhm.
quality family time. And that's just my humble opinion on it. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
once again, you're on Island Block Radio, Pulse of the Pacific, where
Where
paradise
paradise
lives.
What was the one last week, Rich? We had
Don't you worry about what the one last week was.
Joe Sav didn't verify that, by the way.
You didn't even talk to him.
The radio station of the
Radio
islands
station of the Atlantic Pacific Ocean.
Hey,
Where the Eskimos live.
you know what? You guys full of shit. All right. Anyway, this next segment is brought to you by.
Island Style Fridays over at Ale Smith Brewing Company.
Wait.
We got the next one coming up June 21st.
Yeah.
Mark, what's the address, Par?
Oh, 9990 Ale Smith Court.
Is Untitled coming back?
Untitled will be there.
Ooh.
And they've been
gonna
doing
be
a lot of more gigs, too. I've been
Yeah.
seen on social media.
They're promoting something.
But yeah,
Wait,
they're.
are they only on social media because of us?
I don't know.
No,
No, I
Okay.
don't think so. But yeah, so they're coming back.
I'm just playing.
They're our boy Book's gonna be playing with them.
All
Shabe.
right.
Buck
Shabe.
Shabe.
So yeah, it's gonna be a good night. Once again, it's on the 21st.
Yeah.
All right, it's free.
Free for the whole family.
All
Bring it.
ages.
All ages.
All ages.
Even if
all
you
ages.
have a dog,
yeah,
you can bring your dog.
It's dog friendly, dude.
Because when the food cart runs out, we're going to need some more for the Kelligwin.
Hey, dude.
Dude,
What?
That's too far, Chadu.
bro.
Okay, bring your cat then. Fuck.
But all right, last subject of the night. We're gonna do a short one. We're running out of time, but it's the Vox Apocalypse.
Vox Adpocalypse.
Go ahead, Dom.
So basically, there's this personality on the Vox channel on YouTube. There's a conservative or right leaning commentary named Steven Crowder. He's a comedian who was doing a rebuttal video of this certain Vox video talking about the press, and he's doing just pointing out counterpoints to the video, right? And then he's just this is this Vox personality happens to be Mexican, right, and homosexual. Okay. And he's proud to say it. He'll say it to anybody. He stated it himself on social media. I am a gay Mexican. And what Steven Crowder did was he just said, instead of calling the guy by the name, he kept calling him gay homosexual or homosexual Mexican from Vox instead of calling him by his name. So basically, would you guys consider that hate speech or harassment?
Not. Not if he put it out there himself.
I consider it being a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
get
he's a
that.
comedian though.
Yeah, but even still, like
mean-
that's a little bit. I mean, if you're just constantly
Harping on.
tagging them,
Yeah, but if,
tagging them just that way, and you know it's like kind of fucked up.
So it's okay for the guy to tag himself because it's himself, but for somebody to
So
continue.
No,
as
but-
long
but
as
I'm
it's
sure he doesn't-
self-deprecating, it's
well,
fine.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
Yeah,
it's. I don't think he refers to himself as the gay Mexican every show.
But
He's not like, hey, you're back
He's,
here.
he's
with
not
so-and-so."
hide. He doesn't
Not
hide the
hiding
fact
either,
that
right?
he's gay or Mexican.
Yeah, that's fine. You shouldn't have to hide the fact. But
No, you shouldn't.
Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't be if our brother was here, Joseph. I wouldn't sit here and call him the gay Samoan the whole time. I'd call him Joseph.
Okay,
True.
That's true.
That's
but we're
true.
not making fun of Joseph.
Yeah,
we're not talking
We're
down.
not
to
talking
Joseph
down to him.
in
We're
any
not talking
sense.
about things that he's talked about in a counterpoint or
Well,
criticizing way.
Put this in perspective.
Joseph's
Okay,
our
so-
friend. We're not going to talk
Yeah.
to him like that.
right. Is that guy not Steven Crowder's friend at all? Like,
No.
No.
was he talking shit about Steven Crowder
Not on the Vox channel, but in other
platforms?
platforms like Twitter.
Okay, so he's
is that
he,
what made
so
Crowder
he was
come back at
poking
him?
at Steven Crowder.
Steven Crowder, I'm sure, probably started the ball rolling because he does counterpoint videos to this guy's videos all the time because it's a left-leaning channel,
Okay,
probably more extreme left channel.
okay,
Okay, and what Crowder does is he breaks these points apart
right.
with facts because
Yep.
I'm not gonna say this indefinitely, but the left seems to go more towards feelings than facts,
Mm-hmm.
towards how things make people feel
Okay,
rather than facts and actual policy.
okay. So to me, if Steven Crowder was the one that was like kind of like just breaking down a video or something, and the guy got offended, and then he was poking back at Crowder, to me, if he was like poking back like, you motherfucker, you piece of shit, and then Steven Crowder came back, all right, well, here you go, you punched me back, so I'm gonna punch you even harder.
Yeah, but basically, here's what happened. Okay, so what this reporter, we'll say his name. His name is Carlos Maza.
Okay.
He called on YouTube. He's like, hey, this guy's harassing me, and YouTube even came back to him and said, we took a look at his videos, and none of it we would consider breaking any of our terms of service. We wouldn't consider this harassment. He's making fun of you.
Right.
He's a comedian. And so what Carlos Maza wasn't satisfied with that kind of answer. So he started going after advertisers saying, hey, this is what you're supporting when you advertise with so and so.
Okay.
And from that, basically this adpocalypse started happening, where if you have any content considered offensive or borderline offensive to
Oh,
anybody,
We're done.
you're being demonetized. You're not making revenue off of ads anymore. YouTube is taking that away from you, and they're going back to your old videos and saying this is
Is it per
offensive.
channel? Is it per channel or per show?
I think it's per show.
Okay.
So they're going through every video. And what another thing that happened was Steven Crowder has a shirt that he wears, and it has Che Guevara, and it says "Socialism is for figs." But Carlos Maza said to YouTube, he's like, you need to get rid of all these videos because his shirt says "Socialism is for fags," and I don't think that's fair.
No.
And now, the platform that Steven Crowder sells his merchandise from, they took down that shirt.
Damn.
See,
So you're attacking all these independent creators with borderline offensive material
because this guy,
because one guy got offended.
and that's that right there. I don't agree with that shit right there. I don't like that. You lost.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's like
you take your lumps and you move on.
Yep.
But you can't. Nobody is a good loser anymore.
it's
You
outrage
lose-
culture, bro.
Yeah, you lose and you're like, oh no, this
Yeah.
isn't right
It's like you're shitting in a pool and everybody
Yeah.
has to get out because of you now.
because of you. Exactly. And you know what? From now on, nobody's allowed to swim in a pool because I might decide to take a shit in that pool.
Yeah.
It's just, it's ridiculous. I fucking can't stand this shit, man. Just be a loser when you lose, be a good loser, be a good winner.
Like you're not gonna win every time, dude. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta take your lumps. And if you're he does Carlos Maza described himself as being thick-skinned.
Yeah,
This
definitely not.
sounds
That's definitely
paper.
not
This sounds paper thin right
It's
now.
like transparent skin thin.
Yeah.
man. So
It's like onion skin.
yeah, if I'm not gonna win, I'm gonna play dirty to make you lose.
Yeah.
period.
And now everybody's paying
Yep.
because of me, because I don't like you.
Well, I hope he's proud of himself.
VT.
Probably
Yeah,
has that
that's-
too.
And take in mind, Steven Crowd has been like a partner with YouTube for years.
That's
and
what I heard.
years.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that makes us.
That's like a kick in the face.
yeah,
right
dude.
there.
Yeah.
Slap in the face right there. I don't know, man. That just seems like dude needs to just suck it up and be tougher.
And he's backed by Vox, right? Which is I think
that the
Embassy, I think it's
Or is
it's
it
just an
app?
outlet. And I think they're backed by like NBC or ABC like that. They just got $200 million, and they're being backed by one of those big corporations, those big broadcasting corporations. So you're backed by big money, and you're taking money away from these small independent creators.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think of where I stand on. I mean, obviously, I think I stand on the side of you shouldn't be taking money away from monetize, because YouTube's supposed to be a platform for open
Right.
conversation, right? So if it's open conversation, then why are you policing people?
Yeah.
That point's not open.
It's the point is like they're
'Cause
trying to
it-
make
'cause
it
at that
is YouTube a publisher or a platform?
That's what I mean. So if you're
Ah.
if you're a platform, then it's. I mean, if you're gonna put restrictions on people, then you need to state that, because you don't currently state that, at least from my knowledge. And then you're gonna demonetize people because you think it's hate speech, when there's no
Yeah.
definitive answer of what hate speech is.
That could probably be the end.
I
of
I
YouTube.
think right now is ripe time for somebody to actually
Make a new platform.
make a new platform.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
Periscope, here he comes. As we're on YouTube right now. Anyway, all right, let's round table before we get out of here. Mark, do you side with open speech on the platform, or do you think they should be policing somewhat of like bullying? I guess that's what the word is, maybe
Cyberbullying.
cyberbullying.
But what's the definition of that though? Too, you know, what's a person's perception of what
Anything
cyberbullying
that
is?
hurts anybody's feelings,
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, you know, you could fart in a snowstorm and hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Basically, if you're a comedian, don't go on YouTube.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get monetized.
Because you're gonna offend somebody, you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings, and I on a platform like that, you should be able to express yourself. You know, what you see on YouTube, there's a lot of people that are very creative, and they go on there to put their art and their passion, whatever, their comedy, whatever, up there on YouTube for everybody else to see, to share it with the world.
Mm-hmm.
You get one guy who goes up there and he's got an opinion about something, and like I said, he's a bad loser. He lost horribly, so now he's gonna fight dirty so that he can sit back and go, there, I won, and you punished everybody else, and I hope you feel like a champ. You're an idiot.
Vince T.
Ah, man, I have to agree with Mark on this one. Only thing I think they should police is potential threats. Like, I'm gonna kill you. type
Direct
shit.
threats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
direct threats. That's the only
And-
thing. I
and
think
And that's the
should-
craziest thing. Like, I've seen YouTube videos where they've had like actually beheadings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Like
I'm not gonna shut that down. Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like click to uncover video type
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, anything that should be like sent to police. Like, oh, I'm gonna go bomb this place.
Yeah, shit like that.
You know,
yeah,
like
I
school
agree.
shootings, stuff like people do
Yeah.
those type of things. I think those should be
That should be
automatic
more the
police.
concern.
Yeah, not if it's a type of feeling or whatnot. Man,
Yeah.
it is what it is. You said something. Now let the other person say something. If you don't like it, that's not his or her fault. Whatever.
That's your fault for not liking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's always gonna be a difference with an opinion, and not everybody's gonna agree with you, and you have to face it.
And that's
know what I
okay.
mean?
And that's okay. If they don't agree with you,
Yeah.
hey, That's that's why the ParBar is here.
You don't have to agree.
You don't have to agree, man. Like we can be cool with not agreeing with each other.
Yeah.
And just move past it. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. We
Yep.
out of time. Thank you for joining us on Island Block Radio,
Yep.
Pulse of the Pacific, where
Where
paradise
paradise
lives.
lives.
Estelators.
Shoots.